Horns up and welcome to the first ever Headbangers Kitchen travel vlog. As you guys know, I recently went to Vietnam and Bangkok, and if you were following me on Instagram, you saw all the food that I ate. Basically, I'd gone for my honeymoon, but it was more like a food trip for me and my wife. So I thought to myself, why not do a vlog for you guys? So if any of you are ever planning to visit Vietnam or Bangkok, you have something to refer to. Now, I didn't do a lot of research for this trip. My wife actually did all the hard work, so I don't remember the names of a lot of places, but I'll make sure that I put them on the screen somewhere here so you can see them while you're watching this vlog. And I'll also probably write out a nice blog post once the new Headbangers Kitchen website is up and running. And yep, let me talk you through Vietnam. So we decided to fly into Vietnam via Bangkok because that was, believe it or not, cheaper than flying directly to Vietnam from Mumbai. So what we did was we took a flight to Bangkok, we stayed over one night and took a low-cost airline the next morning to Vietnam. Now we had to get a transit visa in Bangkok, which was about 1,000 baht, which is I think about $20, so it's not very expensive. When we were in Bangkok, we stayed at a hotel right by the airport, so literally walked from inside the airport into an aero bridge into the hotel. We landed there, we had a quick bite in the night. Not great food, nothing much to talk about except that it was a beef burger and some stuffed potatoes. Obviously, I was not on keto during this trip and I had no plans to be on keto. Anyway, so we flew into Vietnam. Now the currency in Vietnam is called the Vietnamese dong. It's in a very large denomination of notes because they have like 500,000, 200,000, 100,000 dong notes. So when you translate it, it's about 22,500 dongs for $1. So when you convert your money the first time, it is a little confusing because you give such small amounts of money and you get like these huge notes, like 100,000, 500,000. So that was something that really kind of just like confused me when I did it the first time. I changed my money and I'm like, okay, I better like double check and triple check this. But by the end of the trip, I was like well versed in Vietnamese dongs. That's what she said. Anyway, so the first thing we did when we got to the airport was buy a local SIM card after we changed our cash. And the local SIM cards are really cheap. I think we got a all-you-can-use data card for probably, I don't know, like $10 or $8. It was really cheap. I think about 400, 500 Indian rupees. And that lasted us for like the 16 days of the trip. So that was really worthwhile. We could access data anywhere. Didn't need Wi-Fi at all. So that was perfect. And because of that, we could call for an Uber and go to our hotel, which again is a real blessing because like there are a lot of cab scams in Vietnam, so you could get totally ripped off. Like I have some friends who paid like, I won't say the number, but it was an obscene amount of money to get from the airport to their hotel because they didn't take an Uber. But yeah, we took an Uber and we paid like $4 to $5 to get to our hotel. Now the hotel we stayed in was called Paradise Saigon, and it was located in District 1, which is basically the heart of the city where all the tourist attractions are. And Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City is divided into districts. So you have District 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc, etc. So our hotel was actually a good find because being in District 1, we got it at a reasonable price of about $50 a night. You do have cheaper options but you'll have to probably move to District 3 and 4. And I guess you can Uber it around if you like. So plenty of options when it comes to staying for cheap in Ho Chi Minh City. And yeah, so the hotel was good. Rooms were spacious. Can't really complain about any of the amenities. It was located perfectly for us because we literally walked everywhere. So I think in that respect, it was fantastic. Now when we reached the hotel, we actually did eat one meal in the hotel because we were starving and we didn't want to go out looking for food. So we ordered a Cantonese fried rice and a beef pho. Hotel prices, not the cheapest of meals, but still cheaper than most meals we would have in any hotel in Bombay or anywhere else for that matter. Tasty food, did the job, it satisfied us. Now the room rate also included a breakfast buffet each morning, which was not bad at all. They had a sizable spread. I would stay away from the sausages and the cold cuts, and those things are not really exciting because you can have a lot of local stuff in the buffet as well. And of course the Vietnamese coffee, which you guys must try. Of course I'll talk more about that in detail little later in this vlog. So that pretty much covers the hotel aspect of things. Decent breakfast buffet, reasonably priced, perfectly located, good staff. If I had any complaints, I think we just sort of got a slightly badly positioned room which was right near the staff quarters, so every morning there was a bit of jibber jabber going on which was quite loud. So that was the only negative thing about the hotel, but otherwise we were pretty satisfied with the hotel. Now there are plenty of things to probably see in Ho Chi Minh City, but I'm not much of a sightseeing kind of guy. The only thing I wanted to do was see food. So we didn't do too much sightseeing. We did, however, visit the War Remnants Museum, which is a pretty cool place. The entry is very reasonably priced. I think it was about, again, less than it was what, 10,000 dongs maybe, or 15,000 dongs if I'm not mistaken, which is like less than $1. Now the outside of the museum has all these really cool tanks and planes and all sorts of stuff, but then there are levels inside the main building which I didn't really take any pictures of, but it is pretty grim, I must tell you that, and it is something that I think everyone should see, because it kind of just hits you in the face about the horrors of war, chemical weapons, and all the things that, the bad things that humans do. And you know, I don't know, I was really moved, and I thought it was something that I really wanted everyone to kind of see and just sort of, I don't know, give you that, it does something to you. So definitely a recommended place by me, and I think you guys should visit that if you are in Ho Chi Minh City. Now let's talk about my favorite part, the food. So on the first day that we landed, we actually did a food tour with a company called EXO Food Tours, and to be honest, it was a little pricey. It was $75, but totally worth every penny, because for starters they drive you around on scooters, and when I say they, it's an all-girl sort of crew that drives you. They're your guides basically. So they drive you on scooter, and you go to 3 different places to eat, and they feed you like a king or a queen. It is unlimited food, unlimited beer. I mean, it's fantastic, and the guides are very knowledgeable. They speak English well, they are super nice, and in general it's a fabulous experience. So we started the tour, and we were picked up at our hotel by the girls, and then driven to a rendezvous point with all the other people who were on the tour, because obviously they were from different hotels. And at the first restaurant we had Bun Bo Hue, which is not unlike pho, but it's a very different spicy beef broth with noodles and pieces of beef and a little like beef sausage. Of course, I stayed away from that spicy sauce because you guys know I can't handle my spicy food. But when we reached there, they first served us a nice glass of iced tea. We met all the other people on tour, and lovely people, lovely couples, and people from America and from Ireland and where all, and sat there, shared a nice big hearty bowl of that Bun Bo Hue, and then from there we went on to the next stop. Now on the food tour, they took us to 3 places to eat, but we also had other sort of sightseeing stops. They took us to Chinatown, they took us to District 7 and a couple of other places. So we did get to see quite a bit of the city. It was very interesting, but of course not as interesting as the food. Anyway, the second place we went to was sort of one of those grill your own meats kind of place. So it was like a barbecue, and we started off with some goat breast. And the nice thing is that there's unlimited beer. First of all, they served you beer after beer, as much as you can drink, and we also had a lot of unlimited food. So at this place we had goat breast, if I'm not mistaken. We had some beef, we had some prawns, we also had some frog. Now frog is like chicken, guys, and as our tour guide said, frog is more chicken than chicken. And to be very honest, I really enjoyed tasting frog. It really is quite a bit like chicken. The food here was not bad at all. It wasn't like the most mind-blowing food, but it was good, hearty grilled food, and there was an incredible dipping sauce with it. I've forgotten what it was. And then of course they finished this meal off with some fruit with a spicy salt to go along with it. Very refreshing. And that was the second stop that we had for food. And for the final stop of the night, we went to District 4, which is a sort of more local kind of place. Lots and lots of street food happening there, and we went to this place with the most amazing seafood ever. But other than the seafood, the first thing that I ate over there was the fertilized duck egg, which is known in the Philippines as balu, but over here it's known as hot vin lon, which, well, is fertilized duck egg. So I ate it as it is plain, and my wife had a version of it sort of cooked in a tamarind sauce. And to be really honest, it's a lot of hype, I guess. I mean, maybe if I'd had a sort of older egg, because you have different stages of the fertilization that you can eat it at. So the one I ate it at was not, I think, too much into it becoming an actual fucking duck inside it. But the taste, it was like there was a little bit of liquid on top, which was like a stock, and then the egg itself just tasted like boiled egg with a bit of liver in it almost. Yeah. Anyway, that was the funky thing that I had there. But then came all the seafood, which was, oh my god, incredible. There were crab legs, there were clams, there was the most incredible scallops with peanuts and scallions on it, and there was also some quail, which was nothing unremarkable about it. It was okay. And our tour guides were so cool. They were like literally peeling the crabs for us and giving us just the meat. So you get like royal treatment on this tour, to be really honest. And we could just eat as much as we wanted. There was no limitation. We had to actually say stop. Okay, I think we're kind of full now. And for dessert, we had the most incredible coconut jelly, which is served inside the coconut, and it's transparent. It's got a little white layer on top. Fantastic stuff. And they also gave us these sort of sweet rice cakes with sesame seeds. Delicious. And that pretty much covered the food tour that we did. After this, they dropped us back to our hotel, and they even sent us some pictures from the tour and all. Really, really, really fantastic experience. I would definitely recommend this if you're planning to go to Vietnam, or to Ho Chi Minh City to be more precise. One of the other things we did in Ho Chi Minh City was drink a lot of craft beer. My wife loves craft beer, and she did her research well before we came to Vietnam, and she found out there's a lot of craft breweries happening in Vietnam. So on the second day, we visited a brewing company called Pasture Brewing Company, and it was a small little hole in the wall that we had to took a few turns to find. Went up a little staircase and sat down there. My wife discovered something called the Jasmine IPA, which became her favorite beer on this trip because it was available in other cities as well. So that was what she drank through most of the trip. Me, on the other hand, I'm not the biggest fan of beer, but the idea of craft breweries is like wow. And I love beers that are not bitter, so I do enjoy some craft breweries, and I also do love cider. So that's my one thing that I really enjoy: cider, apple cider, berry cider. Any cider is good for me. So anyway, at Pasture Brewing, I had a flight, which basically had their chocolate stout, which was 13%. They had a coffee porter, they had a dragon fruit beer, they had a berry IPA, they had a watermelon wheat beer, I think, and a passion fruit wheat beer. All of them very interesting flavors. I think the berry was a little too sour for me. Dragon fruit was also a bit sour. I think I enjoyed the passion fruit and the watermelon most. The coffee porter was so full of that coffee flavor, and that chocolate beer was on another level. Though to be honest, I could take only a few sips of those. I did finish them, but they are quite rich and heavy, and well, I think lucky I had Dipti to help me finish off all the beers that I couldn't. So that was a really nice place that we visited. We didn't eat anything there, so we have no idea how the food was, but a nice list of beers. The second place we visited for craft beer was a place called Bia Craft. If I'm not mistaken, they had about 54 beers on tap, including the entire range from the Pasture Brewing Company, as well as a lot of other breweries from, I think, Ho Chi Minh City or even other parts of Vietnam, I'm not sure. And in fact, I did a live stream from there, guys. If you recall, if you check the channel, there's a live stream from the Bia Craft place. Now, when we were there, I tried their different ciders. They had a lemongrass cider, a hoppy cider, a regular apple cider, and a chili cider as well. That one I didn't try, but I enjoyed all those ciders. Fantastic ciders. We had some of the food also. We had some fried oysters. We had some Reuben French fries. All of the food there was really good. Fantastic stuff. In fact, we loved Bia Craft so much that on our final day we actually just parked at Beer Craft from like I think 11 or 12 in the morning and just sat there drinking and eating till like 4 p.m. Great place, good staff, must go if you are in Ho Chi Minh City. So on our second night, after we spent most of the evening drinking and eating at Beer Craft, I was actually a little hungry, so we wandered off to the Backpacker Street and we ate in one of the bylanes over there. It is actually a very touristy place. The food is also really touristy. The pricing is also quite touristy. We didn't eat much, thankfully. I had a deer skewer and a pork skewer, both which tasted almost the same. It was not bad at all. It was good, but nothing remarkable about it, and I honestly wouldn't recommend anyone going there and spending too much time there. Probably better to find some more well hidden secrets in Ho Chi Minh City. And finally, the highlight of Ho Chi Minh City was the Banh Mi. Now the place that we ate Banh Mi at was called Banh Mi Huna, which was a 2-minute walk from our hotel, which is another reason I will recommend my hotel to you, because just the proximity to this Banh Mi is worth staying there for. Now you guys again saw the live stream on the channel of me showing you that Banh Mi and me eating it, so I don't need to say too much about it. Just enjoy these beautiful visuals. It's just a delicious baguette with pork pate, with more pork in it, 5 different kinds of pork, salamis, fresh veggies. Oh my god, I'm drooling just thinking about it. So yeah, that was a great Banh Mi. I would go back to Vietnam just for that. Now the final thing I'd like to talk about in this vlog, because I'm going to divide the vlogs by city. So this one is all about Ho Chi Minh City, and I have to talk about the coffee, because this is where we first got introduced to the Vietnamese coffee. Now what's so special about the Vietnamese coffee? Well, for starters, they drink it with condensed milk. Yeah, so we first had it at the breakfast buffet. In fact, Dipti had it at the breakfast buffet, and I took a sip and oh my god, she had the cold version, the version on ice, but it is strong coffee with a beautiful hit of condensed milk. We also went to one of the local coffee shops and we had coffee there. Dipti had it with ice again and I had it hot. So what they do is they put the condensed milk in your cup and they put the filter on top, and the coffee brews right into the cup onto the condensed milk. Stir it and drink it. Now it's not a lot of coffee, it's not like a big Americano, it's a small shot. It's like a jumbo espresso almost. So yeah, the Vietnamese coffee was fantastic. And of course every city there are variations, like in Hanoi they have the egg coffee, but in Ho Chi Minh we were drinking that coffee all the time, condensed milk and lovely strong freshly brewed coffee. So anyway, that's all I have to say about Ho Chi Minh City. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this vlog, and if you want to see vlogs about the other cities, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts, and I will see you on the next episode of Headbangers Kitchen. Cheers and thanks for watching.